This is TWiT.
With Google, the competition's gotten tough now. Everybody saw the Zoom stumble, and Google just said, "Okay, meets free forever for everybody through September." There is everybody's stepped up saying, "Use us, please."
Yep.
When we talked about it last week, you said Teams really is more for messaging than video conferencing, and yet it has all that video.
No, I'm sorry. What I meant was Teams started as a Slack competitor,
right.
So its initial core functionality was team-based chatting, chat-based collaboration. I think is how Microsoft would describe it. But it does all those other things too, just like Skype does. You could have audio calls that are like a phone call over the internet. You can have video calls. You can have video
is
conferences.
That clear to people? I mean, that's what I wonder. Is that should they reposition it so that people, because that's what people want is video conference calls.
I think it's super important that we clearly communicate the fact that Teams today is for businesses, not for individuals.
They don't. Yeah,
you could use it as an individual, but
so
Microsoft has this thing called
consumer
Skype
stuff, right?
Microsoft has Skype. So if you want, Skype does all that stuff that Zoom does. I mean,
it's giving it away too. Yeah.
It's always been free, and it works great, and whatever, you can just use that. So Teams is moving there. I mean, Teams may replace Skype someday, but what they're just starting to talk about are adding some consumer features to Skype. To Teams, over time. But that's in the distance. I mean,
and also Teams Mobile, we should say, right? Like, so not Teams on the desktop. We don't even think that Teams on the desktop is getting the consumer features.
No, I think it has to be everywhere. They can't.
You
just
do?
Put it in certain, of course, yeah.
I'm not so sure.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure.
Why would they put features in only some of the clients?
Well, it's kind of like the Your Phone thing, right? I feel like they feel like people are doing a lot of their mobile scheduling on mobile devices, and they're like, who in a family would need a PC to go like do a team scheduling thing?
I mean, okay.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, I mean, it's just I don't know why they wouldn't. I mean, I agree that as a person out in the world, you would be using your phone, but you might still be, you might be at work. Right. At a computer and some family thing. I don't know. I
think that's why they want you to switch between your accounts. Like if you're at work, use your Teams business account and switch profiles. Maybe.
Okay. Maybe.
I don't know.
I think
maybe they just haven't said anything at all about Teams consumer features coming to the desktop, the Windows desktop. They've said nothing about that.
Right. But I think the reason they showed it on mobile is because that's the way most people will do it most of the time.
Use it. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think they meant to say we're not doing it on desktop. I think they were just trying to. Microsoft hates Windows, so it kind of makes sense.
It's easy to think that sometimes.
We'll
we
see.
joke about it, but
it doesn't really matter. But for some reason, one of the reactions that we've seen in our community, or Windows, Microsoft enthusiasts, whatever, is this. Zoom gets all this attention, and it's like, what about Teams? Like, what about Teams? Teams has nothing to do with today. The concern should be Skype. If you're worried about pushing a Microsoft solution that does all that stuff and it's free for individuals and easy to use and you can have a link and don't have to have an account and yada, 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 Skype. Skype is the answer. Maybe it will be Teams a year from now or two. Who knows? But today the answer is Skype.
Never thought I'd hear you say that. The answer is Skype.
I know. I just felt right. I gagged a little, actually.
You felt weird when you said it? Yeah.
We've been
using Skype since 2005.